The greatest revolution was in France, and today many want to make a revolution in many parts of the world. So, how to succeed? There is the idea of studying revolution in France because it worked so well. It started from a very small level and then it eventually expanded. It's also good to know that our planet is governed by monarchical system. Every country follows it, regardless of head of state, whether it's a monarch, a president, or something else. Even communist countries function with monarchical system. Lately, Canada has experienced some protests. They have taken down statues and they are very important marks for a state. Every statue is part of forming the understanding. So what people see each day is important for governing people. In South Africa, there is a lot of looting going on. People are stealing from the shops, and it's currently at the level of economical issue. They just need to print enough money and give it to the shops, and they survive with small inflation unless it's expanding. In Cuba, Castro brothers made a revolution, and now there is a plan of counter-revolution. Well, that might take a while, but we also know that communism is very unlikely to continue as long as Castro brothers stayed in power. So it's not going to take 50 years, and it might happen quite a bit sooner. In Belarus there has been a revolution for a year. However, whether it's defined as revolution will depend on the outcome. Since it's been going on for so long, this duration changes psychology. However, we also need to note that some revolutions take decades. So the fact that something might take years, well, revolutions have taken a lot longer. In Uganda, there is some uprising. However, the president got majority of votes. It seems that elections were not rightful. However, president achieved a majority. It was just told that the votes were a lot more than he actually got, but it was a majority anyway. In Myanmar, there is a military in power, and this is something extremely important because if governance wants to succeed, it has to have control over military. So either have very good relations or be part of military some way or have these contacts that hold the state and the will of the people and military together. In Hong Kong, there are a lot of protests. However, the most important thing is often not noted, and it's that Hong Kong produces only that much of food for its people. So it needs to sell abroad so that it can purchase food from abroad. And there is currently no plan how to do it if revolution succeeds. So, back to the drawing board. It should be planned a bit better. But if they do that, well, maybe things change at least a bit. However, it must be noted that the food security must remain. In Venezuela, if we look at the wider history, not just a few years, we look at decades and centuries, then there has always been someone who takes power and spends the goodwill, and someone else takes power, and it's a string of leaders. So somebody always takes power and then someone else takes power. It's been a very long history in Venezuela. In Libya, the international community removed the strong man from power, and some kind of chaos followed. Bit similar things happened in Syria, and now we have a lot of refugees. So that's also something to remember, that the best revolution is where people of the country show their power and show that they can govern. This international interference hasn't worked that well because it has left things in chaos. Eswatini is very dependent on foreign food aid. Now there are protests going on. So it's always different system in power and always different type of revolution that needs to be made to succeed. However, there are very many uniting things to power. Also, our planet is governed by monarchy. So the whole planet that we have is governed by monarchy. And the people do best if monarchy renews itself so well that it's best of alternatives. Otherwise, we probably want a global revolution.